The sun is out, which means it is time to feast on some breakfast tacos and maybe some Week 8 favorites. Por supuesto.
It's simple. We love college football, we love ridiculous food, so let's pick some huge games against the spread every week and eat until it hurts. It's easy call.
Here we go. Cafe el Presidente deliciousness in front of me. Breakfast taco a la mexicana, carne asada tacos, Mexican corn jugo. It's all happening, and especially in Week 8, which is a semana gigante. Florida State, Notre Dame, 11.5-point favorites. The Noles are at home in Tallahassee. Key when Florida State has the ball, their speed, how well and how creatively Jimbo spreads the ball around. They haven't been great on the ground, but he can get the ball to Dalvin Cook, Mario Pender in space. Defensively, Notre Dame needs to be able to wrap up and just be disciplined. They weren't last week against North Carolina, and Notre Dame, when they have the ball, their offensive line has been not that great giving a push for the run game. They've been sloppy early on, protecting Everett Golson, who himself has been sloppy with turnovers. Florida State can take advantage of that. I'm going to go Florida State here, 34-30. Notre Dame covers. Next game, Big 12, Kansas State, 10.5-point dogs going on the road to Norman to take on Oklahoma. Keys for Oklahoma when they have the ball, it's coaching. It's how prepared will Trevor Knight be against another salty defense. They weren't that great last week in third downs. They were actually terrible on third downs. When Kansas State has the ball, quarterback play. Jake Waters is the engine that makes that offense go. Has two great receivers in Tyler Lockett and Curry Sexton going against an Oklahoma secondary. Not that great beyond Zach Sanchez, especially at safety. There are big issues. I'm going Wildcats outright, 27-21. Oklahoma just coming off of that Texas game, still too many questions for me. For a Kansas State team that had time to figure this Oklahoma team out, let's go with that upset. Next game, Oregon-Washington, the border war. Oregon 20.5-point favorites after their shellacking of UCLA on the road. Getting healthier on that offensive line, which is the key for the Ducks on offense. When that offensive line is healthy, when they're able to run the ball, when Mariota gets time, they're basically unbeatable. For Washington defensively, if they can get Kikuha and Danny Shelton going to collapse that Oregon pocket, then it becomes a game, because those dudes are dangerous, especially with Shaq Thompson behind them. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. And when the Ducks are on defense, for them, it's going to come down to coaching. Once again, they have the opportunity to disrupt Siler Miles in a difficult place to play. If you win third downs, Oregon, more often than not, it shouldn't be a problem. When Washington does have the ball, though, get those X's and O's going. Have a great game plan, because if you can get third and short, third and manageable against this Oregon team, Siler Miles still not fantastic, the running game not great, the offensive line improved, you'll be in a good spot. I think Oregon wins this game by 17 or 18. They just don't win going away. Comfortable, but not going away. So Washington covers, Oregon wins. And finally, two pretty big SEC games, not huge. Texas A&M going to Tuscaloosa to take on Alabama. Alabama 12.5-point favorites. The sideline is the key. The coaches, especially on offense for Alabama, they've got a beat up offensive line, but they get a Texas A&M front that's been beat up. They've had both Mississippi schools and Arkansas in a row, and that's before TJ Yeldon and Derrick Henry. That worries me. Just be pretty good, Alabama, and you should have success on the ground. When Texas A&M has the ball, with or without Malcolm Kennedy and his help, they have a deep roster of speedy receivers. Get them in space against, if Kevin Sumlin has done anything in his career correctly, which he's done a lot of, it's pick apart Alabama secondaries. This is an Alabama secondary that has struggled at times this season. I like Landon Collins. I'm going Alabama here. I think there are too many weapons. I think they get it together with a good week of practice. We'll call it 37-23. They cover that 12.5-point spread. And your fifth and final game, Georgia, 3.5-point favorites on the road going to Arkansas. Keys when Georgia has the ball. Running back. Nick Chubb carried the ball 38 times. He is the horse. He is the workhorse. I actually have some sugar cubes for Nick Chubb. Workhorse. I'm going to stop with that, because if he is going, if he is shouldering that load, Hudson Mason looks better. He's just going to dink and dunk, but he looked efficient. And when Arkansas is on defense against that offense, coaching. How well can this team be motivated after a disappointing but fantastic performance defensively against Alabama? I think that's going to be huge. And then when Arkansas has the ball, balanced. Brandon Allen has looked better and better, but guess what? They still have Alex Collins. They still have Jonathan Williams. Going against the Georgia defense, looked fantastic against Missouri. I don't know if we buy into them long term, especially just because there have been some struggles in the secondary. I think Arkansas is able to move the ball on the ground. I think Arkansas wins this game outright. A home dog, we'll call it 24-21, a close physical game. It's time. It's time for Arkansas, and now, after picking all sorts of dogs, all sorts of underdogs, it is time to feast on the beauty that I see in front of me. I'm starting with the breakfast taco a la mexicana. We've got the fresh pico. You can see how fresh it is. We've got the cafe con leche to join me. Got the Chihuahua cheese. You got the homemade tortillas. That's next level. If you're not eating homemade tortillas, what are you even doing with your life? Oh man. Purpura. It's like a strawberry, orange, beet, ginger. It's good for the body, good for the soul. All right, I've been eyeballing this al pastor for a long time. You got the little shaved pineapple on top, marinated pork, cilantro and onion. Oh my God. Oh, the pineapple comes in right there at the end, the sweetness. Carne asada. This is my first thought when I saw this plate. The cebollitas, the green onions, pro move. The grilled green onions on top of the taco. If there's anything I want to be known about me as a human, it's my stance on cebollitas, and I am pro. This is one of the best tacos I've ever had, ever, no matter where. I'm gonna take these into a romantic, I don't know, what's the thing at the Playboy Mansion? I'm gonna take these things into a grotto. Got the fresh grilled corn with the lime. Do some squirting. Ooh, you wanna see how to make this Mexican corn? I talked to the chef Oscar. It's on SBNation.com. It's a website. Oscar's got you. Going back to the al pastor. I am saving more of you for last. Oh, that corn, sabroso.
Let the bass kick.
All right, the picks are in. Notre Dame, Kansas State, Washington, Alabama, Arkansas. Pick of the day though, Cafe el Presidente. Tacos all day, all night. See you next week.